Now, unlike some of the rock throwing that we saw after the Sports Illustrated article about Oklahoma State University, and there was a lot of that going on here in the middle of the country, your book has been fairly accepted as just an unblinking eye at something that is maybe getting a little distasteful.
When Armin and I started this process, we were not out to get anybody. You know, we weren't trying to write an expose. But at the same time, we're not writing a puff piece where we're just raising the pom-poms and going rah, rah, rah. We were trying to show people what is really going on in college football. Some of the things going on in college football are a little distasteful. And so when you follow a tutor around who's assaulted by a player, that's distasteful. There's a lot of things like that going on in the system. But at the same time, there's some things going on in the system that are entertaining, funny, inspiring, uplifting, and we wanted to make sure we showed those elements too. So we literally set out to show you the full menu as much as we could. And the other thing is, we made a commitment to make sure that we interview everybody who's in that aspect of the system. So if we're doing a booster, like we did at Oklahoma State, we want to be with that booster.
T. Boone Pickens.
T. Boone Pickens. So when we picked T. Boone Pickens, we didn't want to just write about him. That would be easy to do, to write about him, but we wanted to shadow him and climb into his world. And once you get in his world, then you want to interview the other people who are in that world. So by the time you're done, you've done the backstory of him and who is he and why did he give all this money and how. But now let's get into the present day and let's fly with him in his plane. Let's go with him to the game. Let's meet the people that he knows that are with him. And then you got to interview them. And pretty soon you have a wide lens, but you're penetrating deep, and so you're seeing a lot, and there's nobody who's sort of left out. Mm-hmm. And I think that when you're doing a book like this, and this is a book, it's not a magazine story, it's a book, people have an expectation that you're going to tell them something that they didn't know, because they're dropping $30 to read this thing, and it's 400 pages long. Nobody wants to read stuff they already know. They want to read stuff they don't know, and they want it to be entertaining and interesting. And so it's a very different approach, you know, what you're trying to do there, and that's what we set out to do in the system.
And to give credit where credit is due, with Mr. Pickens, he's given a tremendous amount of money to the athletic program at OSU, but also given money to their academic programs.
Yeah, we went out of our way to, again, focus on things that people wouldn't know. And maybe around here there are people who know that he's given a lot of money to the academic side, but the fact is, outside of here, Oklahoma State, people don't know that, and people were shocked when they read that chapter that he's given as much or more money to the non-athletic side as he has. Really? Isn't the guy just built a football stadium? Yeah, he built a football stadium, but before he built the football stadium, he was donating to build a geology building and funding professorships and scholarships and all this other stuff. And people are going, wow, I didn't know that. And that's what you're after when you're doing a book like this, is you want people to go, wow, I didn't know that. Well, yeah, we're trying to widen the view of what you see of Boone Pickens, T. Boone Pickens. He's not just the guy with a name on the stadium.
Well, Jeff Benedict, certainly a fascinating read, something that I think whether you're a football fan or you're interested in academics, anyone needs to read this book. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Jeff Benedict, the author of The System, The Glory and the Scandal of Big-Time College Football.